Hey y'all, hey, welcome back to my page, y'all. Welcome to the replay. I just got done ironing this pillow cover. We're gonna make a fall leaf pillow cover. So when you come on in, say hey. If you don't see a red box right there, that just means you're catching the replay. Let's do this, friends. I hope you're having a great day. My name is Amy from A to Z Designs. Let's get started. So the keyword, what is the keyword going to be? The keyword is going to be, let's do pillow. Pillow. All right, let me see if I can get this working. Hey, y'all. Alrighty, so I have a square lumbar pillow. These are super fun. I got this inspiration when I was out shopping the other day. So let's take a look. All right, so the keyword is pinned. I just have my little Cricut mat in here. Since I was ironing it, it had some wrinkles in it, y'all. So I'm going to take that out, and what we're going to do next, let me scoot my desk back because this camera is a little wonky today. So here we go. I'm going to take an ink mat and take this off. Hello, Denise and Holly. What's up, friends? All right, let's see if we can do this strategically. What's up, everybody? How are you? Hello, hello. Okay. Let me try this way. No, I'm going to try this way. So I'm going to just fold this kind of in half, but not all the way because I don't want it to stick to itself. And we're going to just shove this in there and see what happens. Okay? All right, let's get the corners down. So we're going to make a pillow cover today, my friends. Ooh, yes, perfect. So the ink mat that I put in the supply list, whenever you comment pillow, it's perfect because it goes right inside of our lumbar square pillows, and it does have a zipper. Voila. So I'm just going to flatten this out. Now, I've got 4 colors I think we're going to use today. Bark, pesto, currant jam, and papaya. Okay, so I'm going to get all of those out, ready to go. And we're just going to have a heyday, y'all, with some leaves. You're a newbie. Well, welcome. Welcome to the show. It's going to get fun up in here. All right, let me open these all up. I'm going to pull my little table over because we're going to be reusing some of these as we work. So let me just spread all this out. We are going to use ink today, so just be mindful when you're using ink. It is our permanent solution, but let me show you what we've got, friends. This right here is what we're using. This is actually called, hold on, Autumn Leaves, all right? And it's got an assortment of leaves on it. I did already cut this up. Anywhere that you see the lines, that's where you're going to cut it. Okay, so I'm going to grab my little table over here because I'm going to have to clean these and I need all the space I can get. All right, I've got my big mat over here. Okay, and what we're going to do is we're just going to go in and start adding these leaves all over the pillowcase, the pillow cover. Okay, so I'm just going to go ahead and place them where I want them. There's like no rhyme or reason to this, y'all. It's just random. Thanks, Vicky. Thanks for sprinkling, y'all. I do appreciate that a lot. It helps us out a ton. All right, so I've got 4 there. This is a 12 by 18 reusable silk screen transfer. And it, the transfer can be used over and over and over again. So I want these pretty much like all over this. So we're gonna kind of squish these together now that I think about it. So when we were shopping the other day, I saw this pillow and it had a ton of leaves all over it, but they were in gold. So I thought to myself, how fun would it be to do this with fall colors? So that's what we're doing, friends. There are some acorns on here. All right, I think I'm gonna stick to like the bottom section right now. Hi. I know, Wanda, aren't they pretty? Now, this may not be your thing, and pillow covers may not be your thing. Perfectly fine. But I wanted to show you guys how to use this transfer. Zach actually has these cutouts, each one of these, in his Etsy shop. So how fun would it be to place these on the wood cutouts and put them on a frame? Okay, I see my problem here. So I'm getting ahead of the game here. I should have just stuck to my normal plan, but it's fine. You pivot, right? I'm gonna spread these out just a tad. So bear with me just a second. And then we'll fill them in as we go. Look, I'm redoing it. Oh my. Let's do this again, friends. So these transfers are sticky. Okay, let's do that. All right. We do have a little leaf over here. Let me just grab him. Okay, so we have 4 colors. So what you want to do is once you have them all placed, you can do these one at a time if you want. I probably should have done that, but we're just going to risk it today and see how it turns out. I have the idea in my head. Let's see if we can execute it. All right, so this one's a little bit close. All right, here we go. I've got, okay, all my colors. Let me just switcheroo over here. This is going to be easier on my right side instead of over top on above my transfer. Okay. Away we go. So this is ink. It is our permanent solution. So this will have to be heat set. In the event that you wanted to like wash and dry your pillow cover. Okay, you could very easily use our paste, which is semi-permanent. In this case, it would be permanent. But if you were to not heat set, you do wash and dry this, I can't guarantee you that it would still be there. Okay. All right, so let's go in with another color. Let us see. Let us see. So we are prepping for heading out for a baseball game, y'all, in the dead heat of the day. So it's going to be a hot one. All right, so you just want to make sure that all of that silk screen is covered. And I'm going to go ahead and lift these off as we go. So let's lift this one. So pretty. So do y'all have any plans today? The boys this morning have been making short videos with action figures. So I have probably watched about 50 of those. It's so funny, like they see what Zach and I do like for our business and they kind of duplicate it with their own style. And their style is, I guess, action figure short videos. but they're figuring it out. I didn't help them at all. Okay, so there's that one. Oh, so pretty, y'all. This is going to be awesome. All right, so just hang out, craft if you want to, sit your booty on the couch, kick your legs up, just relax. Wanda, you're organizing your craft room. How is that going? Are you getting rid of a lot? Are you saving it all and just relocating it to a new space, new bin, new tote, new shelf? Because I know how that is. All right. So there's that one. Okay, so we need another papaya. So let's do this long one. So we have two styles or shapes, sizes of pillows. We have this square version, and then we also have like a lumbar, which is like a rectangle style shape. But I put the square one in there along with the ink mat and the colors that we're using. So in the event you wanted to make something like this, you could. It's coming to life, y'all. It's coming to life. Let's see. Let's do this one. So remember, I have currant jam, pesto, papaya, and bark. You can do whatever color you want. You could even go in and add multiple colors to one of these and kind of swirl it in. That's an idea. Okay, I just stuck the wrong color in the jar. Let me try this. It's a hot mess. Yes. Oh, yes, Deb, you could. I just saw your question. You could. Okay, so anytime that you're using ink, and guess what we don't have? Paper towels. Anytime that you're using ink, you always want to check your hands, your fingers, whatever it is. Not really whatever it is your fingers and your hands, because if you touch a section of the material that you're putting this on, and it gets on there, it could stain. So just be careful of that. All right, so let's do this one. I'm gonna have to run and get some paper towels, y'all. They disappeared. All right, so this one pesto. Y'all, it is supposed to get cooler next week. Hot dog. Okay, so this is pesto. And let's go with, we already have a bark there. And peel this up. Lay that down. Okay, so I have papaya. Let's go up here at the top. I don't want two colors too close together if I can help it. I don't know. That's just my thing. I like to separate them just a little bit. All right, there's that. Hey, Ruth, how are you? Okay. Currant jam. Let's do that one right here. So there are a lot of leaves on this transfer. So always pick up your excess ink or paste, whatever you decide to use for your project. You don't want to waste it, and it can be used to put down on a different section of your transfer. Okay, what color is going to go here? I have all four of them. Guess we'll just go with papaya. All right, I got too much ink on that one. Lift. And we need some pesto at the top. It's thundering there. You know, it rained a little bit last night. I was sitting outside and all of a sudden it got really windy. Everything started going flying. Pillows on the outdoor furniture. They didn't go flying like across the back patio, but they went from this to down. Ooh, that's cute. I like that one. All right, so we're almost done with this section. Okay. And then we'll move. We're going to have to clean our transfers. And then we'll finish the top. But it was very humid last night. All right, done and done. Okay, so what we have so far, I'm gonna move my stuff somewhat over just a tad so that I can bring this big mat up here to clean, okay? And make sure that I don't have any ink on my fingers. But look, it's coming together, right? Okay, so let me set this over here. And I have this gigantic mat. All right, and I'm going to spray these with water and we're going to clean them all really quick because we're going to use them again. Fill in the top and then I'm going to just randomly place them, I think, throughout the entire thing. Okay. All right, here we go. So this right here in my hand is called a board eraser. It helps remove the ink and paste, whichever one you've used. And it's pretty awesome because there are no chemicals in it. Like you know those magic erasers? Those have something in them. I don't know what it is, but these are just like plain Jane, like a sponge, and they really help remove the ink and paste out of your transfers. And it also is really good to clean your chalkboard surfaces that you may have purchased from me. Okay, let's clean the top, flip it over. You always want to clean both sides. Okay, and I'm laying over here to dry. And don't throw away your board eraser, y'all. If it gets all colorful like mine, just take it to the sink. And all you have to do is run it under some water and like wring it out. Squish it out. Oh, that one's not behaving. Stay there. And you may have to spray water on the back like you've seen me do, just to help get it off, okay? Thanks, Denise. All right, let's do this one. Flip. And then got a couple more to go. So there are tons of leaves on this transfer. Possibilities are endless. All different shapes, sizes, designs, patterns in them. What is it? The veins of the leaf. So, hi Rosalind Foster, how are you? Spray it and let's do it again. So I will tell you that some of the colors may stain your transfer just depending on the actual color themselves. Like Currant Jam may stain these, but as long as you get that ink out of the screen, you can use it over and over and over. So, don't fret, okay? It will be fine as long as you remove all of that ink or paste from that screen. We do have ink in Shimmer Gold, Shimmer Copper. You can incorporate that into your design as well. I grabbed them at first and then put them back because I was going to stick to these 4 colors. All right, flip it over. This is probably the most tedious part of the project, is just cleaning these so that you can use them again. So, thanks for being patient. Hi, Karen. How are you? Hi, Nancy and Marianne. What are you doing? I'm great. Yeah, Cheryl, I have a yellow, but it's not the yellow I wanted. It's a very bright yellow, and I didn't really want that in the mix. But I'm with you, girl. I need like a darker yellow. Okay, done. Let me grab our pillow. And this time I'm going to flip it this way, okay? And then we're going to begin. So I'm going to try and not get the same one close to the next one. That makes sense. Let me think about this. Okay, so here's a really big one. So let's put that one right here. Press it down. And then let's go in with this one right here. Press it down. Where did this one go? That one's at the bottom. Okay, let's put this one here. And then let's grab so many choices. Okay, let's do this one down here. Okay, press it down. All right, so I'm going to do these 4. So this one's going to be bark. So just take your color, whatever you choose, grab your squeegee, and just start pressing that ink through the screen. You want to make sure that you get all of that silk screen covered and that you don't see any of whatever color surface you have underneath. Okay. All right, so let me grab my mat again. Put that there. And then this one we're going to go in with Currant Jam. This is a big old leaf. This, I think, is a maple leaf, right? I don't know. This reminds me of fall. This one right here. So pretty. Okay, that one's done. Woo! All right, so now we need pesto and maybe Currant Jam up here. Again, I'm trying not to have the same colors go together next to each other. Woohoo! All right, this one, let me just turn it a little bit. Okay, here we go. Maple, okay. I was right. Hi, Bambi, we're making a pillow cover, I should say. Just, you know, crafting on a Saturday. Before we get out in the hot temperatures for baseball. All right, so that is what we have so far, okay? Now, do we need to add more? Y'all tell me. Should I fill in all the little spots? Like we could do one here, there, There. I want to dry this just a little bit because if we do decide to go in and add a few more in the middle of some of these, I want to make sure that my leaves are dry-ish so that when I lay the transfer down and if it touches one of these, it does not lift this up, okay? 71. Hi, Wanda. Thank you. Hi, Brenny. All right, dry, dry, dry. Now, this is our quick dry tool. My ink mat's inside of this. It is not going to melt it, okay? Because this quick dry tool does not get super duper hot. Just FYI there. Some of you may be wondering. All right, let's see. So we definitely need one there. There, we need one right there, right there, right there. But not the same one. I keep picking up the same one. Okay, here we go. Oh, that's the same one too. Hold on, y'all. I don't want to get these too close. We can have one going sideways up here, maybe. It's fine, whatever. We're just gonna do it. It's my pillow anyways, right? I can do whatever I want. It's just gonna get laid on, sat on, thrown on the ground here at my house. Because, you know, we live in our house, right? I've got kids. I don't have anything perfect. Okay, there's that one. Now, let's put a small one right in the center, like right here. But what color? Because we have all 4 colors. It's fine. Pesto. Whatever. Hi, Beatrice. How are you? Happy Saturday, girlfriend. We're just making a pillow. To add to the mix of the 12 that we already have on our couch. You can never have too many pillows, right? How many pillows do y'all have on your couch? Half of them end up on the floor anyways. All right, let's do this one right here. This one will do papaya. All right, there's that. Okay. That's cute. I like that. Let me flip this around. I want to put one right here, a small one. I like that. Let's put this one right here. And this one is going to be bark. Fun, fun, fun. Thank you. It's something different, right? Give y'all something different to think about. Okay. Woo woo! I like the colors. Okay, so let me move all of this. Should we heat set this today? Y'all want to see how we heat set it? Let me take this, turn this on, but I'll show you what we have to do. So part of the process, anytime that you're using ink, is you always want to heat set it. And I did grab like a pillow to put inside. Let's see how it works. Hopefully it fits. I don't know. All right, let me go down here. Okay, so we're gonna dry it a little bit. Then we're gonna take the ink mat out and heat set it, because I am gonna use a Cricut heat press, and those get really hot, y'all. And so I don't want it to melt my ink mat that's inside, okay? So do me a favor and hit the heart button, comment the word pillow, go check your messages, all the supplies are there. I even included the Think Ink kit that is 25% off for club members this month, the month of September. It's the ink mat, 2 pillow covers, and a small squeegee. But anytime you are using ink on fabric, you're going to want the ink mat that we have inside, because it's going to keep your fabric in place. It's not going to move. So I do have my heat press heating up to 300 degrees. You need to be careful on the canvas that it doesn't burn. So don't heat it up too much, because it will burn it. And you don't have to have a heat press to do this. You can use an iron. I would just recommend like medium to high heat for maybe 3 to 4 minutes. And I'll show you what I'm talking about here in a minute. Okay. So the next step is remove the ink mat. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to fold the ink mat over inside the pillow cover. Okay. And then I'm just going to pull it out very carefully. Let me work this way so I can see what I'm doing. Okay, just like that. So it came out like that. But this is the ink mat that I was telling you about. Okay, so I'm going to set that aside. Then what I'm going to do is grab, let's do this, my Cricut heat mat, and we're going to start doing this one corner at a time. So you want parchment paper, not wax paper. Don't use wax paper. And then you're just going to place it down, and you're just going to heat set this. So you're basically heat setting the ink like into the fabric. Okay. And I am going to move it around for about 30 seconds with this. But if you have an iron at home, just, get your parchment paper, and you're going to want to move it around for about 3-ish, 4-ish minutes. Okay, so let me move this over to the next corner. We're going to do the same thing. Now, I would recommend, if you're doing this, just let this dry on the ink mat at home. A couple hours, you'll be good. I am fast tracking the process so that you guys can see how it is done. Okay, okay, yeah, we're good. Now we're gonna go to this corner, press it over. Now I have a brown leaf over here, so I'm gonna make sure that heat mat will touch it. But y'all, that's all there is to it. Don't be afraid of it. Have fun with it. And if you are afraid, just start off by just doing this on like a tea towel. Go get some cheap white tea towels. Find them at Walmart. All right, let's move this down to this corner. Turn it. Then it should be done. Ta-da! Could you dye the pillowcase? Yes, you could, Deb. Great question. Yes, Zach has actually dyed the pillows before with Rit dye. He just put it in like a big old plastic tub that we've used for like dyeing things, changing the colors. But yes, you could. Okay, so if you touch it and it still feels a little tacky, then that means you need to heat set it more. Okay, so let me move that. Turn off my heat press and I'll show you the pillow. So I prefer a larger pillow in here, but I just grabbed this from a pillow on my couch. And it works, it's fine. So, get that in there. Tuck in the tag. Zip it up. There is a zipper. And voila, we have a pillow that we made for the season. Check it out. How fun is that? Right? It's something different. I love it. I love it. So tell me what you think. Thank you. Hit the heart button. Type in the word pillow. That is the keyword to get you all the supplies. But y'all, that is just super cute. Totally fall colors. So y'all have a good day. We'll see you next time. Bye.